Hello, I'm in the gym room right now. For those who are worrying, feeling better today compared to yesterday, so that's a good thing. But again, still hate winter. So the topic is gonna be cumulative frequency table. Some of you, actually me as well, will pronounce it as cumulative. Um, I think the right way is cumulative. Sounds weird though. I go with cumulative. Anyways, so basically the difference between cumulative and a normal frequency table is a normal frequency table is more understandable to you. So you know that 8 people belongs to a height of 150-ish, 15 for 160-ish, and so on. Cumulative is usually used to um, measure the total, right? Or to include something before that. So for example, there are 140-ish at there's 0 of them who are 140-ish. The next one's 150-ish. So I can say like the number of students less than 159.5. 0.5 is just added for to include 159 as well. So students less than 159.5 or less than 160, I would say, is 8. And students less than 170 is 23 if you add 8 plus 15, right? So you keep on adding. So the last number you see is always the total number of students, 30. So in total, there are 30 students. That's the meaning of cumulative frequency. So cumulative is basically sum, like the sum of, or the result of the sum, something like that. Anyways, so over here you will see there's a pattern: 19.5, less than 19.5, less than 29.5, 39.5, 49.5, 59.5, and 69.5. Why is there less than 19.5? Like, even though it's already below than the minimum, we already know it's obviously 0 because cumulative frequency chart, the graph, starts at 0. So we always have to have 0 for this cumulative. We need to start with 0 every time. And then moving on, less than 29.5 will only be here, right? So that's gonna be 3. Less than 39.5 will include these two. So that's gonna be 3 plus 7, which is 10. And then the patterns follow. So if you just read it, less than 49.5 should be these three over here. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 plus 11 is 21. 21 plus 8 is 29. 29 plus 6 will be 35. So that's why at the final point, you're gonna match up the total of a normal frequency table. So obviously, it's more or less the same. Let's just do this. Make a cumulative frequency table. So again, the first one has to be 0. And you will notice that they gave us 5 columns over here, but you have to fill in 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first one has to be a 0. When you draw a chart, it will start from 0 every time. And you will learn the chart maybe in the next lesson. So you have to decide what you're going to put here. It's usually 0.5. So the 0.5 before 31 is going to be 30.5. Volume less than 30.5 is 0. And then volume less than 35.5 will be 10, right? Just this one. You cannot put 35. If you put 35, that means 35 is not included. Those, there's no context here. So let's pretend it's like water bottle. Water bottle that are 35 will not be part of this 10, right? Do you get it? Because these 10 can also be having a volume of 35 ml. So if you say volume less than 35, 35 is not included because 35 is not less than 35, right? It's equal to 35. So that's why you put 35.5. Next number to write here should be 40.5. 0.5 higher than the upper limit. And how many bottles are less than 40.5? These two, 10 plus 12, 22. So it's usually the last one plus this frequency here, 10 plus 12. And then 22 plus 25 will be 47. So I can follow the pattern and just fill in the rest. $47 plus 9 will be 56. 56 plus 4 is 60. So 60 is a good number to end with. Usually you expect it to be 65 or 60. It doesn't usually end with like 31, 32. Usually. Sometimes they'll trick you though. So let's see. Now sometimes you have to answer questions, right? Now over here, for example, it's 5.1. The number below it will be 5.05. And then the next one will be, between these two, gotta be 5.55, right? So that's how it goes. And the first one's always 0, remember that. Next, the cumulative frequency table is over here. Take a group of students to finish a task. How many children is there in the group? So you're just gonna add. No, you're not gonna add. Okay, so that's a trick question. Usually you add these to get a total, but if it's cumulative frequency table, there's only 30. The last number is the total, 30, because you already added them. This is basically already added, right? So how many students are less than 10.5 minutes? It's 30. How many children, spend less than 6.5 to finish the task? Well, that's easy to understand. 21. You don't do 21 plus 14 plus 6. You just put 21. It's already calculated. So the number of students that spends less than 6.5 is 21. How many children spend 4.5 minutes or more to finish? So 4.5 minutes or more. This is less than 4.5. So 14 is less than 4.5. So we are going to be here and more, right? Now what we're gonna do is, now this one is actually the opposite of less than 4.5 minutes. So the total number of students is 30, right? How many students spend less than 4.5 minutes is 14. So if you do 30 minus 14, that's going to be more than 4.5 minutes. So the answer should be 60. Now how do we calculate this without, yeah, I think I would probably do the same thing. So I'll do the total, 30, and then minus 14 over here. That one's a quite difficult question. You have to think about that. So these kind of questions are very tricky. Cumulative frequency. You have to be really careful. If you see cumulative, you gotta be extra careful with that. How many keywords are there in the shop? The total is 25. So we put 25 here. How many keywords whose prices are between 160.5 and 220.5? Now this one is very tricky. This one is less than 160.5, so it's not including 160.5, it's less than. So we have to have a border here, and then less 220.5, right? Now this number is including all of these, 23. It's including them, right? Now if you want to find how many students are only for this one, it's 18 minus 11, 7. So in a normal frequency distribution, 160.5 to 190-ish, 0.5 is 7. And then 7 is here, right? 23 minus 7 will be... So basically we're making a frequency distribution table. Maybe we can draw that here. So frequency, like a normal frequency. I think that would be easier. So the first one has 4, right? And then it became 11. So the next one, in order to get 4 to 11, we need to plus 7. So the next one has to be 7. And then for this one, 7 I mean, 11 to 18, you need to add 7, right? So there's another 7 here. And then from 18 to 23 is adding 5. And finally, there's 2, right? So in the normal frequency distribution, it's 47752. If you add all of them, it should be equals to 25. So now it looks way easier to understand. Basically, you want the numbers over here, 7 and 5. So over here is 7 plus 5 equals to 12. Find the percentage of keyboards whose prices are between, okay, so basically just a percentage. 12 divided by the total, 25 times 100%. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna struggle in this part. 48%. Okay, so you really have to understand the difference between cumulative frequency distribution table and a normal frequency distribution table. Only then you will do well in this chapter. I mean, this section. So I think we'll spend more time in lesson to help you understand on this. Okay? Bye!